Hi, everybody. I wanted to take a break from talking about coronavirus, and I want to talk about another disease, actually. It's a disease that's near and dear to my heart. I know that's a weird thing to say, but the reason it's near and dear to my heart is because I was born with it. I was born with this particular genetic disorder. What it is, it's Becker's muscular dystrophy. There's a whole host of muscular dystrophies, and Becker's muscular dystrophy is just one of those muscular dystrophies. And it was named for a German doctor, Emil Becker, who was a doctor during the Nazi regime, but it was proven that he himself was not a Nazi, but primarily did his work on this while the Nazis were in power. And he wasn't the one that discovered muscular dystrophy itself. He just discovered one of the versions of muscular dystrophy. Muscular dystrophy was actually first noted in the 1830s. I'm not sure where, but a doctor noted that a patient of his had a muscle wasting disease. There's a lot of signs of Becker's muscular dystrophy that you can look for. Primarily, it's muscle weakness, and one of the telltale signs is something called the Gower's maneuver, which is a particular way that people have of getting up from the ground that's considered abnormal. What's normal anyway? But yeah, it's called an X-linked recessive disorder, and I believe that means, don't quote me on this, I'm not a doctor. Don't take the chlorquinine because I say so, because I am not a doctor. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I was saying it's an X-linked recessive disorder, which I believe means that you need genes from both parents in order to present as being having active muscular dystrophy. Otherwise, you're simply a carrier of it. And generally, it's mothers can be asymptomatic carriers of the disease. Um, so there's a lot of signs of it, and there's a lot of problems that come with it. I have a list of them right here, which I'm just going to read to you. Muscle wasting, poor balance, and a concomitant disorder with muscular dystrophy is scoliosis. Um, I can't even read my own handwriting here, but there's respiratory problems, there's problems walking, cardiomyopathy, muscle spasms, so on and so forth. So it's essentially defined by slowly progressing muscle weakness. And, of course, the lungs are a muscle, so that's where the respiratory problems come from. And this shirt that I'm wearing, by the way, I didn't wear it to show off my bodacious muscles or my lame ass tattoo. I wore this shirt to demonstrate some of the problems that you can encounter with muscular dystrophy. I'm going to show you my arms in a minute. I'm a little embarrassed to show them, but I'm going to show them to you just so you know what goes on. And pseudo hypertrophy is one of the other presenting signs, and it happens usually between the ages of 5 and 15, where a patient with muscular dystrophy, their calves will balloon, they will expand. I've always had big calves because of this pseudo hypertrophy. It's a word I cannot memorize. I got to keep looking down at my sheet to get that name right. But basically, what it does is it expands the muscles. It balloons the muscle, and my entire life, people have been like, "Man, your calves are weird. Man, you got big calves. Man, you got fat calves." And it's like, yeah, it bothered me, but now that I'm 40, I'm like, I'm over it. I'm over everybody, man. I'm just like, yeah. But that's one of the things that you face when you have a genetic disorder that causes, body dysmorphia. Is that people Is it body dysmorphia? I don't know. Again, not a doctor. I'm not prescribing chlorquine here. But yeah, because you look different, and people are going to point out that you're different because that's the way people are. People are shitty, especially kids. And I wasn't the pudgiest little kid, but they used to call me fat because one of the markers of muscular dystrophy is a ballooning stomach, and it's like nothing I can do about it. So, but I look back and I just think Kids are stupid. And, what am I going to do about it? I'm going to live my best life now, right? Isn't that what everyone says? Live your best life now. Don't dwell in the past. But yeah, I mean, growing up with this disease, there's a lot of hurtful things are said to you. And even when you're grown up, a lot of hurtful things are said to you. Like, you'll pull your car into a handicap spot and somebody will go, "You ain't handicapped." And I was like, "How do you know, buddy? How do you know I'm not handicapped? What do you know about me? You know only what you see on the surface. And that's what you're making all your judgments based upon. I don't even have to give you the time of day because because that tells me what kind of person you are. And if you're letting it get you down, then you're letting them win. The best revenge is a life well lived, and that's what you got to do. You gotta live a good life. You gotta be happy with yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody says to you. Just be happy with who you are. Because I mean, I've met so many people with this disease over the years, and they're the most beautiful people you ever meet. They have good souls. Even though they're different on the outside, they have some of the best souls you'll ever see. I mean, Maddie Stepanek was this amazing poet before the age of 12, and he garnered worldwide acclaim from his poetry books, and he appeared on Oprah, and he led this amazing life, this amazing short life, and it's like, that's what you gotta do. That's how you make the haters pay. You gotta live a good life. You gotta be happy with who you are. And I don't know, maybe that's why I'm making this video. I don't know why I'm making this video. Probably because there's not a whole lot of coverage of this disorder. There's a telethon every year, and people who know about that telethon, they don't know anything about the patient's suffering. I mean, for years we were called retarded, which is a horrible word, by the way. If you ever say that word in front of me, I'll smack you with my wheelchair leg. I don't actually have a wheelchair leg because I find them to be very uncomfortable. But yeah, that's a part of the progression of the disease, is that it becomes difficult for you to walk. And so I use a wheelchair. My muscles, the more you use the wheelchair, the more your muscles waste away. But the muscles that I have below my waist, they still work somewhat. So, like, I can stand up in the morning, I can make my coffee, and that's about it. I mean, I can walk very short distances. But mostly I use the wheelchair for safety because I used to fall all the time. And yeah, it causes muscle wasting. And like I said, that's why I wore this shirt. And I wanted to show you like some of the effects, like um, this loose skin here. This used to be all muscle, and now it's mostly bone. You can see these like indentations. Like, look at this curve here. That is where the muscle has atrophied. And it's the same on the other side. It's a bilateral thing. The muscle is atrophied. Feel a little bit like Vin Diesel. Why does Vin Diesel always wear those shirts with the sleeves cut off? It's like, we know you got muscles, dude, but come on, you got to be getting chilly. I'm chilly right now, and I'm sitting in a climate controlled environment. But anyway, yeah, physical demonstration of atrophy, and I've got all this loose skin here. Some of it's from fat, but most of it's from the fact that the muscle is wasted away. And I guess that's basically it. I just wanted to have a little discussion here about Becker's muscular dystrophy, and what it is and the effects that it has and what it can do personally. And it's like I said, you're good if you've been diagnosed with this disease. My message to you is, don't listen to what people say, because people are going to put you down. And they're going to say the worst things to you, and it's really going to hurt you. But in the end, just be happy. You may not be able to compete in that sporting event, but what you can do, the advantage that you have over those people, is while they're out there playing their sports and, dribbling down their basketball court, you can pick up a book, man. You can read a book, and you can be the most brilliant person you want to be. That's my advice. Read. Read as much as you can, because you are in a unique position to read constantly. Always be reading, because when it comes down to it, the muscle is this muscle is nothing compared to this muscle. This is your greatest attribute. So use it. That's my advice.